This is Fam Electric Ghost. In this episode, that Vegas spin, Josie puts it in. So, we love to use our Teenage Engineering OPZ, which is a little micro synth. It's a little hardware synth the size of a TV remote. So we put together a track, and we implore all Ghost fans to kind of have a little contest to figure out where the sample for this track comes from. It comes from a Fam Electric Ghost song we put out a couple weeks ago. What we also like to do is take a sample ourselves, and so we took the OPZ, put it into our MX1 performance mixer, and then sampled it with the Make Noise Morphagene Eurorack sampler. Then we were able to create a loop on that sampler. It is not a typical kind of grid-based sampler, though you can actually bring things into a UI on the computer and control it that way. But natively, everything is just visual. It's all control surfaces, all dials, and you visually and kind of what you hear is what you get. So you work on the clip with these physical controls until you get it to be what you want. And you can time shift it. You can pitch it up and down. You can, run it like an LFO. You can have other Eurorack controlled voltage capabilities. Have a LFO control it from another synth. Have an envelope control it. Have a filter control it. Do all kinds of interesting things. Have another clock actually control the clock on the device, and then you can morph it, which means it'll actually go and pull other clips or pull clips from within or splices within the same clip and make them happen at the same point in time. So potentially you can have something happening at the beginning, the first 10 seconds actually colliding with the 30 seconds into it, or maybe the last couple seconds colliding with the first couple seconds. So we used the Morphagene to do that. Then we also used the Make Noise Eurorack module called the Maths module, which is a utility module. Lets you do additional LFOs, lets you do exponential and logarithmic processing of CV control signals, which basically means it's a control mechanism for all your VCA inputs and outputs, and you can change the speed and the decay and add portamento, do all kinds of interesting things to your CV signals, and then route them through your Eurorack. We use it in combination with the Make Noise malt that we bought. So we bought an additional module, small little module, probably 1 HP that has a malt, maybe 2 HP. It has tons of malts on it. So you can take those signals and cross them all over the synth. In addition, we have a Pittsburgh modular 2x4 VCA mixer, which allows us to change the levels of those signals. And everything goes into our Arturia Mini Boot 2S, comes out of it as a 1/4-inch signal, goes into the MX1 performance mixer, where we convert it to stereo by outputting it in stereo left and right to a Zoom R24. So this gets into the song The Vegas Spin, where Josephine is kind of talking about the den of sin, which is Las Vegas, and how the spin is not just the roulette wheel; it's the spin is the dance of sensuality or sexuality with her partners, and which partner is it going to be next, and it's kind of a spin for that, putting it in. So that's what Josie's getting into, and then we have on this track a Moog grandmother playing with FM synthesis, playing with the sample and hold circuit and the spring reverb. We're doing a lot of different modulation on it, and do kind of a loose funk bass guttural thing with the FM synthesis coming in on the pitch wheel or the modulation wheel and doing kind of a rap kind of scratching type of sound, which is the wave, being heavily FM modified, frequency modulation modified. So you get this kind of hip hop kind of what you would do as a DJ doing scratching, or so that's kind of what you can do with an analog synth. Not, the only sample is a sample of ourselves, which is typically what we do. We never really sample anyone else. We just sample our own instruments, our own capabilities. As we said, we've been diving deep into a couple of new synths that are out there. We're kind of excited that Korg is coming up with the 2600M, which is a smaller version, like half the price of the full-size version. That actually comes with the keyboard. They also have the mini Korg recreation with a full case, which is an interesting synth. It's kind of a one-trick pony. It has a certain sound that if you want that sound and you want that analog capability, it's kind of really like a retro synth if you were really into that machine and you wanted to have an original version of it and then have it with MIDI and be able to have that kind of heft. It is cool for leads. There's a lot of cool stuff. It's cool for bass lines. It's not like a mini Moog. It's not as advanced. You can't do as much as what you could do with a mini Moog or even an MS-20. So you're wondering, why would you spend $2,000 on that? Pretty much close to getting a Prophet 5. And that gets into our conversation about the Prophet 5 and the Prophet 6 or Prophet 510. Our preferred synth is the 10, just because we play a lot of chords, and anyone understands that. Prophet 5 is because it's got 5 voices, which you only do 5 fingers. And 2 of those play octaves and 3 for melodies. So if you're going to play more complicated stuff, the Prophet 10 is kind of like your choice, unless you want to go and overdub a bunch of stuff and it's not 1982 anymore. And so the Prophet 10 is the better choice. The only problem with the Prophet 10.5 is it doesn't have a sequencer, which is kind of like, why couldn't you put that in for that kind of price? Being a purist, like, it didn't really have MIDI. It didn't have some of the other things, so why not put the sequencer on it? That's kind of a miss to me, because then you got to go get like a KeyStep Pro, or you got to go get the Korg sequencer or get an SQ1 or something to be able to sequence it. Though a lot of people probably, well, I'll just use my DAW to sequence it. But, the whole idea is being able to, use that capability to actually, record it. So that's the one thing I'm kind of down about, is the fact that it doesn't have a sequencer. And I'm wondering if Sequential Circuits is going to put their old sequencer out, which I don't know if they still make that. I'm going to check their website again. I was supposed to do that yesterday. But as always, please become a supporter of the program. You can do it for 99 cents a month, $12 a year, or do the PayPal me link. Also, you can support us by checking out the products we push from all these different vendors. Some of the products are kind of risque, like stuff from gvibe.com, where you can get satisfied. And then other things are for your health, like my Vital C, which we take every night, and it helps us with our sleep, helps us with our overall health. So check that link out. In your finances, you can check out the link we have for your financial health. So we've got, your sexual health, your overall well-being, and your financial health. So you're all taken care of on all sides. Like Josie would say, it's all in. Put it all in. So thank you for listening to The Ghost, and we'll talk to you later. In the den of sand, that figure spin, both sides on the house plan. It's a figure spin on the house gonna win. Won't you input it again, but put it both sides in.
put it all the way in. It's a Vegas spin. Oh, him. Baby, she is where you begin. Don't pretend you won't fuck your friend. You do it with he or she. In the dead of sin, we're all here to win. I'm facing both sides lose on the house wins. And he, she, and where you begin. Why don't you go fuck your friend? That's the biggest spin over here. Where he and she end, you begin. Don't pretend you won't fuck your friend. Don't pretend you won't fuck your friend. Where he and she begin, where he and she end. It's the biggest spin.